Hello everyone and welcome to Friday Football Fever. It's the playoff edition. 7 Suncoast area teams enter the postseason, all with hopes for a state title. Got to win 5 games to get there though. And we start as always with our game of the week. Undefeated district champs Braden River hosting Pinellas Park in our USF Sarasota Manatee game of the week. First quarter, Mitchell Grondine. The pass here to Kal-El Williams, and Kal-El Williams is apparently hard to bring down, the big fella. Nice gain there, and it would lead to this for Pinellas Park. A toss to Marcellus Ware. Look at Marcellus Ware. Plows his way into the end zone for a touchdown. 7-0. Patriots take the early lead. Later in the first quarter, Patriots running the ball in their own territory. It's a big scrum, and I promise you somewhere in there it was a fumble. The Pirates jump all over it, and they get the ball on the turnover recovery there. Led to this. Jacob Huseman. I like this quarterback. He's big, he's tall, he can throw the ball, and look at wide open Ryan Newsel there. Touchdown, ties things up at 7 apiece. Then after a Pirate field goal made it 10-7, Braden River defense comes up big. Grondine drops back, and he is picked off by Anthony Marino, and Marino's got a nice little run back here. He's thinking about the end zone before he's caught from behind. Led to this. Pirates handoff to Raymond Thomas, and Raymond Thomas, he hits the turbo button. That's a touchdown there. River up 17-7 at that point. Pirates get the ball back. Handoff to Marcellus Ware. Wow, this guy can run. He's got the neon green knee socks there. May have helped him in this run. Little shake at the end there. Big gain, led to a direct snap touchdown run from Ware. 17-14 at that point. Braden River turned it on big though. Went on to win this ball game 44-28. SNN's Kelsey Kern saw this one in person, joins us now live. Kelsey, wow, Braden River really turned it on and won big in the second half, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Adam, it was an exciting game, high energy right from the very beginning. Pinellas Park got an early score in the first quarter, and they stayed true to their game and kept it on the ground, but they didn't have that lead for very long. Braden River picked it up, and they held on to a lead for the whole first half. They got one in the air, one on the ground. After the game, I spoke to Braden River coach Bradley, and he said he was really proud of the way the guys came out in the second half, put a lot of points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, we talked about it all year long. We were disappointed with the way we finished the first half. And, we told the kids, if you could have told us in August we would have had a 3-point lead at the halftime, of a playoff game, we all would have taken it. And so we kind of, hey, pick your heads up and let's go. And our offensive line, we put it on their back in the second half. And I don't think we threw a pass, maybe that first drive when we marched down the field, scored a touchdown. That really set the tone for us.
And now the Pirates have a week to prepare for their next playoff game, and it will be another home game against Eastlake.
They're at home. All right, thank you very much, Kelsey. A big win for Braden River. Let's move on. First time in years that Mooney hosted a playoff game. Cougars and Clearwater's Calvary Christian. First quarter, we're going to start. Warriors on the board first with a smash mouth run up the middle out of Stephon Williams. 7-0 Calvary Christian, but the Cougars' run game was strong on this night too. Jazz Monaghan straight ahead for a huge chunk and a first down there. Warriors didn't try to pass much. Maybe it was because of this. Jack Sheehan's in trouble. Tommy Vasallo has him cornered, and then Chad Wilkins, the vicious slam sack there. Nice play on defense. Second quarter now. Mooney would find the end zone after a field goal. Bryce Williams up the middle. Cougars take a 10-7 lead. And the Cougs would cap the next drive with another TD. This time it's Reese Vita on the keeper. Wow, Reese Vita is in. And watch how pumped up he is as he runs straight off the field. Mooney hung on to win it 17-14 in advance. What a night, what a season for the Venice girls volleyball team. We're not talking football, this is volleyball. Indians lose just one set in Kissimmee against Vanguard in the 6A state championship game. Indians win it 3-1. It's Venice's 4th state title in school history. Congratulations to the Venice Indians volleyball team. All right, we will call a quick timeout. Plenty more to come. You're watching Friday Football Fever. All right, welcome back. Let's jump right back into the action. Manatee is very familiar with Fort Pierce Central. Seems the Canes always end up playing the Cobras at some point in the postseason. We start in the first quarter. Sloan Drummond's launches one to Kelvin McKnight. Great catch, too, for the opening score. 7-0 Hurricanes. Second quarter now, same score. Direct snap to Johnny Lang. They do that a lot. Lang with the shake and the bake. That's nasty. He is gone. Touchdown 14, not a Manatee in control. Cobras did move the ball some on offense. Quarterback Jack Saladino with the keeper up the right sideline. That's a first down, but too much Manatee on this night. Drummonds floats a wounded duck here. Quack, quack, but Cavius Price goes back and gets it. Canes survive 28-20. Just survive and advance this time of year, baby. How about Venice opening up the postseason, hosting Tampa Hillsborough, the Terriers. Not a very fierce nickname. First quarter, Hillsborough on the board first, though, with this Dwayne Lawson touchdown run. 7-0 Terriers barking. Later in the first, Langston Provitt, direct snap. Man, does he make that look easy. Saunters into pay dirt. We're tied up at 7. Later in the second, more from the Venice ground attack. This is Bryce Carpenter, the freshman. A quarterback draw up the middle. Good play call. Nearly broke free for a touchdown. Settled for a gigantic gain, and it would lead to this in the early second quarter. More from the most versatile player on the Sun Coast. Carpenter's in trouble. Floats one up, and there's Provitt in the end zone. Catches it and gets crushed, but it's still a touchdown. 14-7 at that point. Then came some trickery, a little peacock trickery, maybe not by design. Either way, it works. Preston Hines, the fake field goal into the end zone. 21-7 at that point. Venice hangs on to win it 35-29 in advance. Well, Charlotte made the trip over to the Atlantic coast to take on undefeated Vieira. Pretty stunning final score in this game. Tarpons got out to an early lead and just never let go. What a complete blowout. Charlotte wins 48-0, huge shutout. How about Booker making the drive down to Cape Coral to take on Island Coast? This is Van Edwards, a long run for a touchdown here in the first quarter, but it would be called back for a penalty and Coast would settle for a field goal. Booker QB Jeremiah Henderson here, the handoff to Omar Davis, just crushed by Riley Ware. No gain on that play. Second quarter, Island Coast Corey Curtis to Ryan in a double coverage touchdown, 16-0 at that point, and the Gators win big 35-7. Booker's season is now over. How about Tarpon Springs Eastlake, one of the top-ranked teams in the state of Florida. Palmetto made the trip up tonight. First quarter we start. Eagles QB Jake Hudson looking for Bryce Miller, but he's picked off by the Tigers' Thaddeus Johnson with a decent little run back there as he is brought down, but Palmetto settles for a field goal here by Juan Eloy Gonzalez. Kick is up, and it is through. Tigers take a 3-0 early lead. Bit of a surprise. Ensuing kickoff, Eastlake's George Campbell. How about this for a shocker? 98 yards all the way to the end zone. It's a return. Eagles go up 7-3, and they would go on and win this ball game 24-3. Palmetto's season is now over after the loss up at Eastlake. All right, we will call a quick timeout. When we come back, we will break it all down with Doug Miles and talk about who is moving on and where they will play. You're watching Friday Football Fever. All right, we welcome in Doug Miles from Southwest Florida High School Game of the Week broadcast. He calls the Game of the Week every week on the internet stream. You can find it at ustream.com or DougMilesMedia.com. Doug, I think first we have to talk about Braden River. They host for the first time. They stay undefeated. They take care of Pinellas Park 44-28 tonight, and they will host Eastlake next week in the playoffs.
I had a chance to do a game with them earlier this year. Very impressed with what we talked about it all season long on the show here. Kurt Bradley coming in there as the head coach, really turning that program around. 10 in a row.
10 in a row. Jacob Huseman, big, tall, strong quarterback. But, man, Eastlake is a tough team, one of the best teams in the state of Florida.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. They made the state semis last year.
Yeah, and we heard, and this is unsubstantiated, I heard this on Twitter, there was a fight at the end of this game. 2 Eastlake players were taken off in handcuffs. So not sure exactly what's going on if they'll be missing that game. All right, let's move on. Venice is going to host Armwood next week because the Indians got a big win tonight, 35-29 over Hillsborough.
Yeah, John Peacock again. We've talked about what a great job he's done, both the running game and the passing attack they have. Really built to make a good run in the playoffs.
Bryce Carpenter, clearly at this point, not really much of a freshman quarterback anymore because he's been awesome all season.
Never really looked like a freshman this year.
Never really has.
That maturity.
And Langston Provitz, super versatile player.
Our favorite player.
Our favorite guy. Doug and I's favorite player.
And Armwood, who they're going to play, beat a very tough Largo Packard team.
Yep, so Venice will host Armwood. On to Manatee. They always seem to play Fort Pierce Central at some point. This one may be a little closer than a lot of people expected. Manatee wins 28-20.
Yeah, they lost last year to Fort Pierce Central. They beat them the previous 2 years. So good win tonight for Manatee, who lost their first game, but outscored their opponents about 349 to 138 the rest of it.
Wow, pretty spectacular. Manatee is going to host Vero Beach. Again, Manatee will host Vero Beach next week. Also hosting, Cardinal Mooney is going to host Clearwater Central Catholic next week, which is pretty awesome. Cardinal Mooney is going to host 2 playoff games in a row because the Cougars hung on and beat Calvary Christian 17-14 tonight.
Like the old days at Austin Smithers Stadium. Congratulations to Josh Smithers, really getting that program back on track.
Yep, so this was the game I was at. I shot these highlights tonight. Interesting, the Cougars kept it mostly on the ground tonight, even with Reese Vita, but they get the win and they move on. One more team that came out, I also want to let you know, Charlotte, interestingly enough, is going to host. They're going to host Fort Myers next week as well. So we will have 5 teams alive, and they are all going to host next week. Pretty
You get
awesome.
to come back one more week.
One more week, I believe, for us. Meanwhile, that's going to do it for tonight. Friday Football Fever Playoff Edition. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, everyone.